the overture to Mozart Magic Flute. It's one of the most joyous kind of openings in all opera. It's a fugue, quite a merry fugue at that, and you know, the basses enter, I think, fourth in the kind of fugal sequence here. After the cellos, so just be aware that when you're looking at the music, you'll see a VCL marking that shows the cello line, and then a bassi, which is where we come in, which is in B flat. One of the biggest challenges here is, again, it's to do with articulation. We've got 6 repeated quavers in piano dynamic, and then we've got a forte in one bow, semiquavers for the last beat of the bar, which then leads back into a piano dynamic. Kind of by design, we are starting the semiquavers on a down bow, and then we have to get somehow off the string and back into the quaver sound that we had before, back in the piano dynamic. But this time we have this awkward problem of being in the upper half of the bow, having played the forte semiquavers. So we're on the up bow at the beginning of bar 2 of our music. This means you have to tuck in 2 up bows. There's, as far as I'm concerned, no other way of getting around this. And the trick is to throw the last semiquaver of the bar a little bit in such a way that we have lift for the off the string quavers at the beginning of bar 2. In slow motion, it looks a little bit like this. It's worth practicing at slow tempos and not worrying too much about a great big contrast between forte and piano when you're getting to grips with this excerpt. That can all come later. One of the kind of categories for doing this successfully, you know, if you're thinking, you know, what makes a good performance of this excerpt, I would suggest that the consistency and the comfort and the speed at which you can get the character of the quaver off the string notes in piano dynamic back again after the slur, the speed at which you can restart those quavers will be a good barometer for how well you're doing with this excerpt, for instance. We also have sforzati dotted throughout this extract. In Mozart, I'm a believer that, you know, vibrato is a good thing in moderation, and it's a really useful tool, especially within, for instance, the sforzati on the E flat here. We have a tie across the bar line. I think it's important to get out of the way as quickly as possible here. You know, Mozart's marked the sforzando on the second beat of the bar, and then the tie goes over the top. And I think that's because he wants us to come away and then lead through the descending scale back into the kind of the main theme again. I'll show that. I like to do this with a combination of vibrato and bow placement. I start the high E flat closer to the bridge and come away, and I start without vibrato and add vibrato as the contact point of the bow moves back along the string. And then I lead through the descending scale back into the main theme again. we have 3 sforzati in a row, always suspended across the strong beats of the bar. So it starts on beat 2 here and ends on beat 4. If you were to look at the score, you'd find that there's a chain of suspensions through this section. Again, it's about getting out the way, and practically we do that by starting the sforzando nearer the bridge and then coming away and adding vibrato through the note. Furthermore, because we have these sforzandos repeated on the second beat of the bar, I phrase away from the downbeats here. I think that's important for the shape of the music at this point. At this entrance, particularly in the second bar of this, there's a real challenge to articulate within the semiquaver slur on beat 4. There's several options. I think in general I get a cleaner articulation if I use a different finger on each note under the slur. What I mean by that is if you take the fourth beat of the second bar of this entrance, if I use 4-2-1-2-4 rather than 4-4-1-2-4, I feel like I have more control to kind of really speak with good clarity and diction in my left hand. In this last entrance, there are dots on top of the minim notes. That says to me separation, and so I kind of slightly cut these notes short. So rather than playing with full sustain, which I'll show you now, I go through the bow and I allow there to be a natural release in the upper half, and I kind of cheat that same effect in the lower half when I'm on the up bow as well. It looks kind of like this. What we're doing there is just releasing and allowing the natural resonance of the bass and the resonance of the room to help us out, while still playing, quite a full length minim at this moment. And then in the last few bars, we have the same challenge as before: piano quavers into the forte semiquaver slur. It's actually slightly easier when you're on the G string. It's really just about getting through the bow and getting back in the string as fast as possible in that fourth beat, and then coming off again with the two up bows at the beginning of the next bar. And then in the last few bars, we have a chance to really enjoy the kind of the home key, the tonic from the forte. When I'm shifting 4/4 across on the G and D strings, this is E flat and B flat, I don't hold the string down solidly the whole time. I kind of rock between the two.